Hello everyone, it's Sandra, and this video is brought to you by a delayed flight, which resulted in me spending extra time at the airport shopping for beauty products that I don't need. I ended up buying this Chanel palette. This is a Chanel, I think they call it an eye and cheek palette. It's essentially a jumbo Chanel eyeshadow quad in shades that you can use on both the eyes and the cheeks. And the colorway is 957 Tendresse. So the official name of this palette is the eyeshadow and blush palette. It is a limited edition product and it's part of their spring summer collection. There are two colorways in this product. This is the lighter version, and then there's also a slightly darker version that's a little bit more red. I really enjoyed the colors, and because I was traveling too at the time, I figured, oh, this actually would be a really practical travel product. I actually don't own any face palettes. I don't own any blush palettes, cheek palettes, and I was trying to think about the last time I had a multi-purpose cheek palette in my life, and it was the last one that I remember getting. I can't remember what year it was, but it was the Becca and Chrissy Teigen collab. Do you guys remember the Becca Chrissy Teigen collab? I loved that palette. And actually, if you kind of take this out, it very much is along the same lines of that, the colorway of that Becca palette. So I guess my tastes haven't really changed that much since then. I like what I like, okay? I thought I would put this on, take it for a spin on camera, and kind of let you know my thoughts. I really like the size of this palette. I like the size of the pans. It really is the perfect size for something that, you know, you can easily dip your brush in to get a cheek, you know, a nice cheek color application, but it's also not too big. It's the perfect size. It's a perfect size. You get 12 grams of product, which kind of equates to 3 grams per pan. This does not blow me away. Like, the actual formula of this product isn't the best. I can't say it's the best eyeshadow or the best blush formula I've ever used. And also, you know, in the world of makeup, you know, people have been using eyeshadow as blush for many years. It's really nice, it's really pretty, but this will not change your life. You don't have to rush out and buy this. You know, it's really pretty and it's functional. It's not going to give you a wide range of looks. I personally love these colors, and I think they work really nicely together, layer together, and overall you get a really, really pretty soft look. It's very much like a pretty spring summer look. So I'm going to put this all on my face and show you. Let's get into the palette. I really like this light brown color, and I usually like to start with this, and I just dip my blush brush in it. This, the formula is like it's like that baked gelée. I think that's what they call it. And it's not the most pigmented formula. It's not like a creamy, like that creamy pigmented powder formula. It's harder in the pan, and it takes a bit of work to load a decent amount of pigment on the brush. And it's the kind of beauty product that builds up in sheer layers. So you can see the difference here. I have the color on one side and I don't have it on the other. Easy to build up. And I think if you're somebody that travels a lot, especially if you're traveling a lot for work, or, you know, you're traveling, and I don't know about you, but when I travel, especially if I don't have, like, if I'm not traveling for a special occasion, I don't usually play around or get too creative with my makeup. I just kind of want an easy go-to set of products, usually keeping things pretty neutral. I don't want to have to make too many decisions when it comes to getting ready if I'm on a trip, but obviously if I have a special occasion, then I will kind of pack specific products. The mirror size is really good as well. You can see your whole face in it. And yeah, this is really pretty. It's not quite a bronzer. It's definitely a blush shade. On me, it pulls even warmer than it looks in the pan. And yeah, it's a really, really pretty blush color. And then I kind of tweak it from there. You know, if I want to add a bit more of a coral punch, I dip my brush in the coral shade and focus that on the tops of the cheeks. If I want a little bit more berry sculpting action, I dip my brush in here and then I do this kind of towards the end. It's really pretty. You can just kind of mix and match, which is the beauty of a palette. You know, you have all the shades close together, so you are invited to play around and to create fun combinations. And then I also really like this highlighter shade, not necessarily as a highlighter. I like it as just like a blush topper. It gives a really, really pretty sheen, and it's really nice. It's nice and flattering. Same for the eyes. I'm going to start with the brown shade on a fluffy brush and just apply this all over. Like, this really is the perfect, easy work look in a palette for me. All the shades are soft. There's nothing super metallic. The pigmentation is sheer, so you can't really make mistakes, even if you're heavy-handed, because you don't pick up that much product, which I think is very much in line with Chanel. I mean, I haven't had Chanel blushes or eyeshadows in my life in a long time, but I never remember them being super pigmented. I always remember them being like this type of formula that just builds in sheer layers. There's no scent. Again, it's been a while since I had Chanel eyeshadows or blushes, but I remember the blush that I used to have from them was, it was scented. It had like a really fresh floral scent, but this does not have any scent to it. I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but we are in the middle of another snowstorm, which is just delightful. There's definitely sarcasm in my voice. Then for a little bit of definition, I'm going to mix the brown and the plum shade together and just very softly define my outer corner and just a little bit into the crease. I don't think this is the most versatile palette in terms of like getting you a range of looks. You can tweak it subtly. I can see myself, you know, in the fall going a bit more heavy-handed with the plum shade and maybe, you know, adding a red lip or a winged liner, but the general vibe of the look is going to be quite similar. I do really like how easy everything kind of blends into each other. You can get a really pretty seamless look. Then I'm taking this peachy pink shimmery shade on my finger and then just dabbing it on the center of my eyelid. This is a really pretty, flattering sheen. It's not glittery, it's not chunky, it's like a soft, pearly sheen. Again, very flattering as a blush topper or as an eyelid topper. I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I'm not going to add any bronzer or anything. I want to just leave this as is. So you can see nothing else but the Chanel palette on my eyes and on my cheeks. These two together, you know, I can tap, tap, tap to intensify. Taking my Charlotte Tilbury just to set everything in place. And then I'm taking a little bit of the Westman Atelier powder and just going over the T-zone where I get oily. One more time to set things down. Little bit of Merit brow gel. I did try to use, a few days ago, I tried to use the this like plum shade mixed with the Inglot Duraline, and I tried to use that as an eyeliner, but it's just not dark enough. You can't really get them to look much darker. So that plummy shade, when I tried to use it as an eyeliner, it just looked like I had an eye infection. It was just too, it wasn't deep enough. It was just too reddish. I'm going to take just a little bit of that brown color on a small brush, and I'm going to just dust it on my lower lash line a little bit. And then for the lips, sticking with the pinky peach theme, I'm just doing a little bit of the Makeup Forever 3C liner. And this is the Dior Addict Shine lipstick in the shade Mimirose. This is the perfect lipstick to go with this palette, I think. And just for a little extra kiss of pink, the Clarins Lip Oil in shade Raspberry. I love the finished look. It really reminds me, it gives me throwback makeup vibes. It reminds me of this old Dior quad that I used to have that again was part of a spring summer collection, maybe, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. It gives me that vibe. It gives me Becca, Chrissy Teigen palette vibes. And overall, I do love this look. It's really pretty. It's really easy. Can this look be achieved with a million other makeup products? Absolutely. You don't need to go out and buy this. Don't feel pressure to buy this just because it's limited edition and it's Chanel. Like, the colors are not groundbreaking. The formula is not groundbreaking. It is a really practical palette. Like I said, if you are somebody that travels a lot and you like these colors, or you know, you like the redder, slightly darker version, that one's so beautiful too. It's pretty. It's pretty. If you buy it, you will definitely get use out of it. I'm gonna do some comparison swatches just so you can get an idea of the shades and kind of where they lie on the spectrum. But yeah, my overall thoughts are, this is nice. This is a nice to have. It's not a must have. I like it. I don't love it. It's not, yeah, it's not reinventing the wheel or anything. To me, it definitely feels nostalgic because it reminds me of those older products, and the look definitely gets me in the spring and summer mood. I also bought one of the nail polishes from the collection. This is the Chanel Le Vernis in shade number 969, and it's really pretty. This is the first time I'm trying the new Chanel nail polish formula. I mean, new to me. They've reformulated their nail polishes years ago. I used to have the old one and I hated the old Chanel nail polish formula. It always chipped after like a day or two on me. And this newer formula is supposed to be more chip resistant. And I have to say, I agree. It's been 5 days, still going strong. I have like a little bit of tip wear, but nothing crazy. And this color is really beautiful. It's like the springier, slightly rosier version of Olive and June JJ, which is one of my favorite fall nail polishes. This is kind of how they compare. But yeah, this is a really pretty color. This is the closest thing I had to it, and it felt a bit different. It felt a bit different. I was in the mood for something neutral, but not really a nude, not really a red, not really a pink. I just wanted something kind of in the middle, and this definitely fits the bill. So I do really like this color. So on this hand over here, we have the Chanel Quad swatched, and then on this hand here are just some comparable shades. In terms of the peachy, the shimmery peachy shade, as you can see here, I've tried, and the closest thing that I have is actually this Surratt eyeshadow in the shade Doré Rose. Over here is the light pink shimmery shade from the Pat McGrath Mothership 8 palette, the Divine Rose 2. Then over here and over here, these two shades are from the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. Speaking of which, these two shades here, and then these 3 shades in general could definitely be used in a similar way to create a similar look as to what I've done with the Chanel Tendresse. And it was just funny swatching other matte powder eyeshadows and blushes in comparison to when I swatched the Chanel. You can see how much more pigmented the other stuff is. You can see how much softer the pigment is in the Chanel. This is the Laura Mercier blush in the shade Fresco. This is Hermes blush in the shade Rose Tan. This is that beautiful coral shade that I just showed you from the Naked Reloaded palette. And then this color is the matte transition shade, again in the Pat McGrath Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2 palette. I did a little swatch here of the matte plum shade and the mesmerizing maroon quad from Charlotte Tilbury, but it's not really close. So I tried to do this one here. It's it's really not close to the Chanel. Maybe, you know what, maybe Bare Minerals Kiss of Rose. No, that one's too metallic. Anyway, the purpose of this exercise is just to show you that you can definitely get the same type of look, the same vibe. I keep saying vibe, but that's really the best way, the best word I can use to describe what I'm trying to convey. You know, you don't need this exact product to create the same look, even though obviously they're not dupes in the true sense of the word. If you are drawn to this palette because you're drawn to the colors, chances are you already own something really similar that you can use to convey a very similar mood in terms of the colors and the overall aesthetic of the look. If you are on a no buy or if you are on a low buy, I'm once again reminding you to stay strong. You can do it. You don't need to rush out and buy this just because it's limited edition. It's pretty. I like it, but yeah, not groundbreaking. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you have been curious about this palette, maybe this will help inform your decision on whether or not you should go get it or not. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.